Before we move on and talk about Villa, I want to know what you make of Liverpool's future, Didi, because Michael Edwards retired. Well, he left the club, I should say, in the summer. We knew that was going to happen. He announced it the year before. So Julian Ward, who was already at the club, was able to follow him and learn from him for the full 12 months. He took over the role. Now Julian Ward is going to be leaving the club. They've announced that. The club is up for sale. I'm not sure what the future holds. It looks like Klopp is now going to have a more hands-on role because of the changes internally. That fulcrum within the side of Mike Gordon, of Michael Edwards, it's gone. Klopp as well, with Mr. Gordon now overseeing the sale, I believe. So he's having less of a day-to-day role. What do you make of the future for Liverpool Football Club?
Well, I think there will be somebody coming in because Jurgen Klopp said it years ago. He said he doesn't want to work without a director of football because he doesn't really want to deal with agents. So I think somebody will come in due time. And when new owners come in, there's always a chance and there is. You know, I think it'll be very hard for the new owners to be better than the last owners, even though FSG at times came on a bit of pressure because it didn't invest as much money as the fans wanted them to. But I think what they did, they extended the stadium. You know, the main stand is done differently. They do the Anfield Road stand now, so the capacity will be up to 65 or 68,000, and they stayed out of the day-to-day business. And Billy Hogan, who's been the CEO in the last few years, he used to be the commercial director. I think he led the club very quietly, and I think it's always a good sign when you don't hear or see the CEO or some people of the owners who are involved into the football club, into FSG. Because it means they let the football people make the decisions. And I think that's what they did. Could they have spent more money? Yes, potentially. Having said that, you know, the club has probably been as successful in the last 5 or 6 years than they've ever been. And I think it'll be big boots to fill if FSG sells the majority of the shares, because I think they've been very, very good owners, even though some people in Liverpool might say differently. I think they've been exceptional.
OK. What about someone like Bellingham? I mean, if the rumours are true, they might be going in for him. But if I'm an owner of anything and I'm trying to sell, I'm not sure why I would go and invest a huge amount of money, possibly a new club record, to sign someone like Jude Bellingham when you could be packing up shop shortly after. Do you think it's going to affect transfers for Liverpool, particularly in the summer? Let's not forget some players are going to be out of contract as well.
Yeah, I think FSG is well aware that obviously they have to have a competitive team if they want to sell, because it's not guaranteed that Liverpool will finish in the top 4 this season. And if they don't, I think it's very important that they probably recruit 1 or 2 players to make sure when new owners do come in that there's every chance, or maybe a guarantee, even though there's no such thing, that they finish in the top 4 the season after. I think it's evident, it's obvious that they need to bring somebody in. I've never been the biggest fan of Thiago. Oxlade-Chamberlain did okay today, but I think his time is up as well. I'm very surprised that people talk about Naby Keita getting a new contract, because he's been a major disappointment since he signed for the club. So they probably need not 1 but 2 players. And, you know, if you can sign Bellingham for 140, 150 million, stupid amount of money, he's an exceptional player, don't get me wrong, but he's still very young. And I still think he has to find a position, because I think he models himself from Steven Gerrard, but I'm not sure he's got the ability going forward as Gerrard had. So it might make more sense to bring 2 players in, maybe for less money. So that would be my strategy. I wouldn't go all in on Bellingham. I think it's too much of a risk for such a young player. But I think FSG knows that they need to invest, because they're not guaranteed to finish top 4 this season.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting transfer window in January, particularly just after World Cup finishes as well, and next summer.